We have more information about Candlekeep Mysteries, so we're going to talk about it. We had three of the authors of three of the adventures sit down with Chris Perkins in a private press panel and discuss their respective adventures and what they're contributing to the book. So let's talk about it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geek Pantheon. I am Eric, and today we have a Candlekeep Mysteries update. This was a couple of weeks ago where Chris Perkins sat down to talk with three of the authors, and I want to kind of jump into what we know now about these three adventures and talk about what these authors are contributing to the book, what they're excited about, what Chris Perkins had to say on it, and yeah, just do kind of an update. After the Candlekeep Mysteries announcement video that I did, a lot of you said, hey, when you find out more info, keep us up to date. And while this is public information, not everybody wants to follow the news every day on Candlekeep Mysteries. So this is me doing what I can for you. Okay, so the first bit of information that we got just from kind of an overview standpoint, not going to what the three specific authors had to say, is there are two important pieces of information that were kind of up in the air after the announcement of Candlekeep Mysteries. Firstly is that yes, the hub of this adventure will be in Candlekeep itself and the books that surround you. And some of the adventures will keep you in Candlekeep itself, whilst others will take you far and wide out into the greater world. But Chris Perkins at this event did assure us that if you play in your own homebrew D&D world, or Eberron like myself, or Greyhawk, or Dark Sun, that these adventures are intentionally made to be easily transplantable into another setting. The example given in the article, and what I would agree with, is that if you play in Eberron, then Moorgrave University would be a perfect stand-in for Candlekeep, where the players are centered in finding all this information out. So that's the first big thing. Yes, there is a setting-specific aspect to it, but that also they very intentionally tried to keep it easy to move to other settings. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about Jen Kretschmann's adventure that she is contributing to Candlekeep Mysteries called The Canopic Being. So this one is set in a dungeon. This does take you beyond Sword Coast, which is a big thing they made a point to point out, to the realm of Tashalar, the warm, sunny region down near the jungles of Chult. And there isn't a dungeon down here that you are going to be adventuring through. Presumably based on the title of the adventure, maybe Egyptian in flavor. But one cool thing is you do start in Candlekeep, like we talked about with all the adventures, that kind of being the hub, and then you go out to do this adventure. But one cool thing that Jen has done with her adventure is there is a dungeon incorporated into it, but the author went to great pains to imagine a fully functioning three-dimensional version of her dungeon. And obviously the question would be, why go to that much trouble to fully realize like a 3D version of your dungeon? And the reason is that because Jen is an ambulatory wheelchair user, and she wanted to design a dungeon that she herself could explore as an adventurer. And so there are elevators, whether used by pulleys or magic, and it is a fully realized, fully fleshed out dungeon. And so if you have a player at your table that is wanting to use the combat wheelchair supplement, then this would be a great dungeon to pull ideas from. And yeah, it's just a great way to think about dungeon design. And so that is a really cool aspect, that you have this fully realized 3D version of a dungeon that the author went to great pains to design before putting pen to paper in terms of writing the adventure around it. And I really like that. I think that's really, really cool and really, really smart. And I think that's cool. And so, so yeah, that's all we really know about this adventure, is obviously the title, and we're traveling to this new region that hasn't really been touched by 5th edition, and the dungeon that you get to explore once you get there proves to be really well thought out and thorough in its design, which is super cool. And before we move on, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It does help out a whole lot. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and when we hit that point, I will buy one of you a D&D book of your choosing. Maybe we'll time it out to where it's when Candlekeep Mysteries is coming out and I can buy you that. So yeah, go down below, subscribe to the channel. It does help out a whole lot. And if you want to talk to me about this stuff in real time, head on over to twitch.tv/thegeekpantheon Pantheon. I do stream every Sunday and Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central and Saturdays at 8 a.m. Come by, hang out. I would love to have you. Next up, we're going to talk about Tamor Raymond's Zekran's Zephyrian Tome. So this adventure is all contained within the book that you find. And to say it simplistically, but essentially you find a djinn that is trapped in a book, trapped there by the sinister Zekran, and you have to find a way to free it. Is basically the long and short of it. The djinn desperately wants to be freed and asks for your assistance with the promise of a grand reward. A reward from a djinn. I wonder if you could guess what that reward will be. And obviously they went ahead and went into that of the idea of the wish spell and potentially being something that the party could tell the djinn, we don't want that, we just want your assistance further on down the line, which could be an interesting play. But yeah, this whole idea of having to go on an adventure with this book to do specific things to free a djinn from its prison is really cool, and sounds like it could involve some wacky hijinks, but also could potentially be a little bit more open-ended and sandboxy than a typical one-shot, because keep in mind, all of these are between 10 and 12 pages. They're designed to be short adventures that you can run as a one-shot. And so having such an open premise is very intriguing to me, and I think could be really cool as long as there are clear options that the party can go investigate. So yeah, I think this sounds like a really fun adventure. I think it's a really fresh and unique concept for an adventure's problem of help. I have a djinn stuck in a book. Can you get him out? Obviously, the djinn is the one asking that question. But yeah, I think it's really cool and could lead to bigger and better adventure. Who is Zekran? Why did he trap this djinn? What is he still alive? Is he doing this to other people? Maybe we should go investigate. So this one could very much be a launching off point for grander adventures down the line. And lastly, we're going to talk about Amy Vorpal's Candlekeep Destruction, which instead of C's is all K's, replacing the C's throughout that title. And this is promising to be the wackiest adventure. This is very much a comedy hijinks style one-shot. It involves creatures that are called skitter widgets and kitty widgets, and involves a mysterious figure called Dognuts. So yeah, it sounds like a wild, zany adventure, which for some of you out there is not going to be to your taste. And they do acknowledge that when discussing this adventure, that yeah, some people don't play D&D for the lulz, as it were. Some people take their adventures very seriously and they want their time at the table to be taken seriously as well. I'm one of the people that enjoys some comedy at the table, so this one very much excites me, and they do reassure you that there are 16 other adventures in the book that might appeal, or that will appeal more to your tastes. This one sounds, and they acknowledge, is like the wackiest of the adventures included. But there was one special thing that Amy was sure to point out, in that there would be some involvement of Spelljammer in her adventure in some capacity. She didn't give any further details, but Spelljammer confirmed. So what do you all think about these adventures? They sound like a ton of fun to me. I love the design discipline that went into the Canopic Being by Jen Kretschmann, and designing this fully realized dungeon for us to play in and take things from. Tamor Raymond's just initial problem of a djinn trapped in a book and it wanting to be let out and go figure out how to take care of it. And Amy Vorpal's zany, wacky, we know so little about the actual story, but the tone speaks for itself, and it sounds like it's a ton of fun. And all three of these sound like they could be very compelling launching off points for a larger campaign, getting to go to a brand new region of the Forgotten Realms, if that's the setting that you play in, with Jen's adventure additionally is a huge thing. So I think all three of these adventures sound really great. I think they sound like really cool launching off points, or a progression throughout one long narrative could also be a really cool way to play it, of people going through various books, and kind of what I think the design intention was with Candlekeep Mysteries by including this hub world, is that you could do all of them based out of this one centralized location. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do any of those adventures sound exciting to you? And did you like this kind of video? Did you like this kind of short update on Candlekeep Mysteries? Let me know, I'll keep doing them. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.